Grade 4, Module 5, Lesson 23 homework. Problem number 1. Circle any fractions that are equivalent to a whole number. Record the whole number below the fraction. Letter A. Count by 1/4. All right. We need to start at 0/4 and we need to stop at 6/4. And we're going to circle any of the fractions that make 1. So I'm starting at 0/4, then I went to 1/4, they have that for us. Next thing I'm going to put on is 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. I'm going to stop and circle that because that makes 1. We're going to keep going, 5/4 and 6/4, and that's where they told us to stop. Problem number 2. Use parentheses to show how to make ones in the following number sentence. We have a whole bunch of 1/3 here. So let's think how many 1/3 add together to make 1. Well, 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3, plus another third is 3/3. So we need 3 groups of 1/3 added together to make 1. And we're just adding parentheses in to show that it's making 1. We need 3 groups of 1/3 added together to make 1. 3 groups of 1/3 added together to make 1. And let's just double check this. It says it equals 4. This is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And yes, that does equal 4. So we used parentheses to show how to make ones in the following number sentence. Number 3. Multiply as shown below. Draw a number line to support your answer. Letter A says 6 times 1/3. They did this one for us, but let's walk through it. 6 times 1/3. So thinking back to number 2, how many thirds did we make 1 with? We needed 3 of them. And that's that multiplication sentence here. You can look up top, back up here, and you needed 3 groups of 1/3. That's the same as 3 times 1/3. So to make 1, you need 3 times 1/3 and 3 times 1/3. And that would make 6 times 1/3. So how many groups do we have? We have 6 times 1/3, which makes 2. There's 1, 2 of them, times 3/3, and that's going to equal 2. The reason why it's timing by 3/3 is because there's 1, 2, 3. So there's 2 groups of 3/3. Let's do letter B together. Letter B says 10 times 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a number line. I always put arrows on the ends of my number line. And I'm going to go between 0 and 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'll show you why I did that in just one moment. And it says 10 times 1/2, so we're going to be counting by halves. So let's go ahead and split those into halves. I'm going to do this with red. 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, 1/2, 1/2. And I want to try to jump by 1 whole. So how many groups of halves do I need to get to 1 whole? Well, I need 2 groups of a half to get to 1 whole. So this right here is 2 times 1/2. It's 2 groups of 1/2. This right here is 2 groups of 1/2. 2 times 1/2. This right here is 2 times 1/2. This right here is 2 times 1/2. Now I'm going to stop and think of how many 2's I have. I have 2, let's see, I'll just dot above them. 2, 4, 6, 8, and how many do I want altogether? I want 10. So I need 1 more. This is 2 times 1/2. So we need to make 1 whole, so we got 2 times 1/2. So together that makes 5 groups of 2 over 2. So what we're really looking at, I'm going to start with 10 times 1/2 equals, starting the problem. We had 5 groups. So that's 5 groups of 2 out of 2. Okay, the 2 2's came from here. 1, 2. 1, 2. So 5 times 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So 5 times 1 equals 5. So 10 times 1/2 equals 5.